Welcome back and good morning. This is Douglas Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com, and to my left,
Matt Pizarczyk, RazorEmporium.com.
this is I'd Lather Be Shaving, brought to you from the shave capital of the world,
Phoenix, Arizona.
That's right, home to the Cardinals and cheap dating skills.
And the Diamondbacks.
Today we're going to be not talking sports, however, not talking about the awesomeness of Phoenix shaving. I mean,
Hardly. We're going to be
Phoenix, Arizona.
We're going to be talking all about the awesomeness of getting started with wet shaving on a budget.
That's right, on the cheap.
How-to, tutorial, beginner,
All those
SEO
buzzwords
words.
and more. Yeah. All this and more on today's episode of I'd Lather Be Shaving.
So, you've heard about wet shaving. Your friends are doing it.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Or thinking about doing it.
Yeah, and so you're like, gosh, I really
wanna
want to
do
get
it.
started. I want to get into this, but
Just did it. Sorry. And when I'm done,
keep on
doing this,
conjugating.
I'm going to do it again.
Do us.
Conjugate do.
Yes. So you're like, man, I want to do this, but I don't want to spend a bunch of money. Can I just find some stuff to get me going? What? Composure.
I had a funny thought. Go on.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
Should we start this again?
No, let's keep on going.
Okay.
So we're going to present to you two different ideas. Douglas wanted to go like uber budget. We're talking something that would be less than the cost of delivery pizza. So very low impact on your bottom line. I wanted to go with something just a hair above that, under $50, something that maybe the products could last a little longer, maybe a little better quality, whatever.
I just want you to get you up and going. I mean, this is your first time doing something new. You probably don't want to invest too much into the craft or the hobby or just learning in general. So I'm all about the budget kit. How cheap can we get you up and going?
So I think we should start with yours and then let's go.
That makes perfect sense. Okay. Well, first and foremost, we have this recent kit that came out by Trader Joe's.
TJ's?
And it actually comes with a soap, and it's quite nice. Smells very manly, and it's actually a really nice
I was
soap.
impressed by this.
Yeah. It also comes with a shave balm. And this is not the brush it comes with, but it does come with a brush too. So you get a soap, an aftershave balm, and a brush in this kit, and all for under $10.
That's incredible.
It is incredible. All you would need now is a razor.
Yeah.
Again, this isn't the brush that came with it, but this is a brush you can find online, on eBay especially, on Amazon too. It's by Diane, not a sponsor,
That was my sister's name.
in high school. And so this is a boar brush. I believe it's a wooden handle.
She died.
It's smaller, it's cheaper, makes a great travel razor.
Sorry.
And it's real cheap. It's probably about $1.75. So this is something you can start with, and once you break that in, the brush is actually, it's quite punchy, but it'll break in nicely over the course of the weeks. Yeah.
That is quite stiff.
It's punchy. I call it punchy. You got to break it in. But yeah, for $1.75, you can find a cheap brush to give to your friend to get them started up and going, or you can buy one yourself. There are other options out there as well now, but that's just on the cheap. I'm trying to go as cheap as possible here. This right here is a great three-piece starter razor by Yuma. This is from India. The company's been around for probably about 100 years. And this you can get, I think with the case, it's $2.25. Or alone, it's $1.75. And again, three-piece style. In fact, it's based on the Merkur 1904, which I have right here. This is actually the original Merkur. And if you look, even the handles.
Yeah, the checkered kind of look.
And this, the Merkur 1904, the vintage Merkur 1904, is one of the best shaves of your life. So the Yuma is not a bad thing to start with. Feel that handle.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rough, sand casted, but I mean, you're paying $2.25.
So we paid $1.75. We paid $2.25 if we want the case, which you don't need, and then to finish it off, a stick of Arco. Turkey's known for their shaves, their barber shaves especially. Some of the best shaves in the world come out of Turkey.
Great soap.
Arco is typically what they're using. It's a cheap soap stick, but a quality soap in all aspects.
I mean, just look at his face. He looks pretty happy.
He's happy.
Don't you want to be happy?
And very Caucasian for out of Turkey. But regardless, $2.45 for this. So for under $10,
That's incredible. I'm honestly impressed because I was not aware of these Yuma razors.
Yeah, they doubted me. The whole cast and crew doubted me of I could create a budget shave kit. Also, if you want a mug lather, you can just grab a mug from the kitchen, the cupboard, and use any old mug.
Or like a tea Java mug. What do you call that? Yes.
And also a salsa bowl. Salsa bowls are really cheap and sold at every supermarket, it seems like these days. So a salsa bowl.
How about a ramekin?
I'm a ramekin Buddhist. But yeah, so you got all that going on for under $10. So
Nice.
a great way to start, a great way to stick to your budget and see if you like the hobby.
Yeah, you can always get nicer gear, which brings us to my
Nicer gear.
side of the table. Yeah, I mean, nothing terribly, crazy budget here. I picked out a Gillette razor and I grabbed a fat handle tech, but you can find fat handle techs or any other tech razor. They're so ubiquitous. You're going to find them at antique stores, on eBay. It doesn't have to be in pristine condition. As long as there's no rust on it, clean it off, give it a whirl, because these are awesome shavers. Any of the tech razors are great. I picked out a Parasso just because it's one of the most top recommended soaps. They're $10.
He loves it.
I love it, and most people have great shaving experience using Parasso, so it's one of those.
It's tried and true.
Yeah, it's been around forever. I also grabbed an Omega Boar's brush, again about $10. And great investment. It has a huge loft of hair. They're called the professionals because you do see them being used a lot in barbershops and stuff.
Comparable.
Yeah. And then I also grabbed, on the kind of the idea of a budget, I grabbed some Nivea aftershave splash. This is a grocery store thing. You can find Nivea. I've always really liked their products. They also have a balm that's super popular. Yes, that came off the shelf. The balms are really popular, especially if you have any kind of issues with irritation, razor rash, dryness. You want to avoid things that have alcohol in them. So the balms are great, or just you can use like a face lotion too. And then for blades, you have no blades.
Actually, when you thought I was looking for that, I was actually looking for a sampler pack.
Okay. So we sell these for $6, and you get, I think, 30 or 40 blades in here. You have everything from feather, super, super sharp, down to Lord, very, very mild, and everything in between, some Astras, Dorco. So this is an awesome way to get started. I always tell people...
Not only is it awesome, it's just the recommended way to get started.
It's like, if you don't think that one blade's going to be perfect, like I just got off the phone with a customer today, and he's like, oh, I've heard legends about feather blades. I have to start with a feather. And I'm like, no. Start with a variety pack. It's like if you got someone into craft beer or into wine, you would never...
smoking.
Yeah, you would never just hand them like one beer or one cigarette and think that they would, be brand loyal to just that. You have to try a lot.
Yeah, and it's not only about brand loyalty. It's just that different blades will perform differently with your own unique face and skin.
And the razor you put it in, and so it's about dialing in what's best for you.
Now, there are plenty of places to find sample packs. You can find them on eBay, you can find them on Amazon, even bestshave.net, where I got this Yuma. You can find them as well. And those are like, typically, the stuff you see on Yuma is like more middle of the more middle of the road blades like Astra and some other brands that you may not have heard of. In fact, if you're just starting, you probably haven't heard of any of these. But there are thousands of blades to choose from, so you want to sample as many as you possibly can.
Yeah.
But you don't need to get crazy right away. But I just want to say, don't buy a 100-pack of a certain brand. Buy a sample pack first.
And one tip I have, we put like a little rating guide on here of like, there's honestly a subjective opinion of how sharp they kind of feel. But I would recommend doing something similar at home. Put some kind of piece of paper or notebook in your bathroom as you're experimenting, and keep notes. Say, okay, Astra had a, whatever. Give it a rating, a 1, 2, or 3, whatever. And that way, as you're experimenting, you can really figure out, okay, wow, I really had a great shave with this one, but not so much that one. And also figure out how long these things last. Maybe tally up how many shaves you get out of them.
Yeah. And also remember, user error is huge when you're just beginning. Don't judge the product, 'cause chances are it's you that's getting it wrong. Same thing with soap. What I used to do when I was first starting is I would take notes with a Sharpie on the jar. What temperature or whatever, when it performed best at. I found different soaps have different sweet spots that perform differently at different temperatures of water, so on and so forth, how much I loaded the brush for. And so I would just write that right on the jar because each soap performs differently.
Yeah. Another thing I would say as you're getting started, try to have a consistency of your shaving, meaning that if you're going to shave at night, great. Shave every time at the same time. Do the same prep before. If you take a shower before, great. If you put on a pre-shave, try to hold variables constant as you're trying things, especially blades or new soaps or whatever. Try to do things as consistent as possible so you are kind of measuring apples to apples and not apples to oranges.
It's true. And remember also, if you have more than one razor, that your favorite blade in one razor may not be your favorite blade in the other razor.
Exactly.
So Don't just assume it will be.
Yeah.
Keep that sample pack around and keep checking them out. Keep trying.
Yeah, this is all great advice.
Thank
I
you.
think we need some kind of
This episode was written by me.
yeah.
Me.
I think we need some way to shrink Douglas's ego and also his waistline. We're gonna do a little challenge called a relay race. Ready?
Do you think I look fat?
Only in that dress.
Shazbot.
Let's go.
On your marks. Get set. Go.
Did you hurt yourself on that wall? Second place. Well, we did this relay race to show you, and kind of as a metaphor, that when you get started with shaving, you're so excited for that mail call, you want to get started with the products, and you want to rush to the bathroom and get going.
Or rush to the finish line.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we all start off with a handicap, and that's technique. We don't have our technique down yet. So that's what we were representing in the use of stools on wheels.
And, razors without blades.
Yes, and chicks in cars. But yeah, that's pretty much what that was. However, I do think I won since I, finished the job where Matt just kept going. You would never leave the house like that. Another metaphor. So who really won here? You decide. Please comment below.
Yes, decide on which one was us was
Like
a
and
loser.
subscribe. And remember to hit that little bell-shaped thing over there so that you're notified with every new episode that comes. Before we sign off, however, I'm out of breath. There's one more giveaway for you. So, soap, aftershave, all you have to do to enter is subscribe, like, and comment. Now get out there and make me proud.
Until next time.
Next week.
Until next time, next week. We'll see you next time on I Lather Be Shaving.
And have a kick weekend.
I kicked your
You did.